It's no secret that President Trump's been throwing up hurdles in a path to a transition, like falsely claiming he won. He did not. But it's not just the PR. This is also on policy, issues that could make life a little harder for the incoming Biden administration. First, you had the president firing Defense Secretary Mark Esper in a tweet, replacing him with now acting Defense Secretary Chris Miller. The president, of course, is allowed to select who serves on his own cabinet. But Miller then announced a planned troop drawdown in Iraq and Afghanistan, moves Secretary Esper had opposed, and moves that triggered criticism from U.S. allies, including the head of NATO. Now, with a veto threat, the president is jeopardizing the annual defense spending bill over a provision renaming bases honoring Confederate soldiers. That is some of our new reporting this morning coming from NBC News White House correspondent Carol Lee. So, Carol, this is an interesting one, and it's something that you're really only going to read here on NBCNews.com. It's possible that President-elect Biden could change those base names by executive order once he takes office. But talk about the impact of this bill not getting passed in December.
Well, look, it would have a huge impact, Hallie. For 59 years, the National Defense Authorization Act has consistently passed, despite some threats by presidents, including President Trump. Former President Obama also threatened to veto the NDAA, but it didn't happen. And what we're learning is that President Trump is sticking to his position during the campaign that if this provision to rename those bases stays in this bill, that he will veto it. And what's different now is Republicans believe him, and that President Trump is more unpredictable than his past veto threats on legislation. And so they're saying that they're worried about this, and their argument to Democrats who are balking over this, because you have to remember this has widespread bipartisan support in the House and the Senate. Their argument is this is a bill that has some very important provisions, and it would not be good to throw out the entire bill just because of this. So they say, let's pass this, and then President-elect Biden can come in and he can do this by executive order. Biden's team is not commenting on whether or not he would do that, probably not wanting to give Republicans an out here. But let's look at some of the things that are in this bill. There's a number of things. There's a pay raise for troops, money for female-specific uniforms and body armor, and measures that would support education for military children with special needs. So this is where Republicans are saying to Democrats, look, let's just get this through. Let's take out this basis provision that has widespread support and hope that the incoming administration would do that, make that policy a reality when President-elect Biden takes over.
And Carol, this issue over bases that renaming these bases that honor, Confederate folks, this has been bubbling for a little while, right? Yeah. I mean, this is not something that's necessarily a surprise. We've known that there were some tension points between the president and the Pentagon on this.
Yeah, there's tensions between the president and the Pentagon, the president and members within his own party and Congress. This is one of the reasons, Hallie, that President Trump and his former defense secretary, Mark Esper, had a falling out. As you know, that Mark Esper supported that. And one of Mark Esper's final efforts when he was right before he was fired was he was quietly working with Congress to put language in this National Defense Authorization Act about these bases, which was something that did not go over well with President Trump.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.